When people say like marriage is hard, you have to put in hard work. What does that actually mean? What does it mean when someone says marriage is hard? Especially the married couple, they're always saying like marriage is hard. You can't just expect marriage to fix your life. And I, so my favorite author, one of my favorite authors about marriage is Terry Real. He is a marriage relationship coach or author. He's an expert in this. And so reposted one of his story or his post on my Instagram, and obviously a lot of people like understood it now, but I'm going to talk about it here and really put my comments into it. And if you want to follow him, his name is on Instagram is Real Terry Real. And what he starts off with, and the reason I'm sharing this is because I've been trying to say it in ways that and teach it in ways, but it's not really as clear as how he said it in this post. So I'm gonna try to say it, okay? Or share this. So he starts off with saying, falling in love may feel like a rescue. It may feel like safety, approval, protection. This person will finally give me what I didn't get. Okay, this is kind of like when someone's fantasizing or, ruminating about a person. What they're usually doing is putting them on this pedestal of like, this person's gonna finally complete what I didn't get from my childhood. Unfortunately, love doesn't work like that. Relationships aren't designed to avoid your old wounds, they're designed to expose them. So when I talk about marriage, I tell you that marriage it will bring out the worst parts of you that you didn't even know existed. Okay, our imperfect partner triggers us, and we find ourselves back in the emotional soup that we thought we left behind. And this usually happens after like the fourth year of marriage, even the first year of marriage, right? I get a lot of people who come crying to me like, what is this? I thought marriage would be easier than this. Okay. And he continues and he says, this is what I mean when I say we all marry our unfinished business. Your partner will disappoint you. They will hurt you and betray you, just like the people you grew up with. Not because they're a bad person, but because they're human and because you chose someone just familiar enough to trigger what's unhealed. So your partner pulls away, lashes out, forgets you, and it doesn't just hurt, it feels like history is repeating itself. So you panic, right? This is where the part where people usually question, did I marry the wrong person? Did I marry the wrong person? Did I marry the wrong person? And you start fighting for what you never got as a child. You try to get them to fix what your parents never did. You hand over your hurt to them and you say, this time, do it differently. But that is not their job. That part is yours. The part of you that feels abandoned, the part of you that it feels insecure or like really like I can't figure it out until he texts me back or he has to do this. That part is yours. Healing begins when you turn inward. When you say, let me tend to that little kid in me before I speak from my pain. So is me commenting now, as you mature in marriage, you realize there's a lot of pain points that you're going to want to blame on the other person. In maturing, the more mature, grounded love is you realizing it's not their job to do that. It's my job to emotionally take responsibility for everything that I'm feeling. And what does that mean? There is an inner child inside of you, all the emotions inside of you that need some loving. And that is your job to do it because you're the only one who knows how to do it. And then going back to his post, you learn to tend to your own wounds with compassion. And when those younger reactive parts gets triggered, you choose to show up differently. That's what maturity is. Not handing your pain to your partner to manage, but caring for it yourself. And that's how you heal. Not because your partner finally gives you what you missed, but because but because you do. You give yourself the healing that you need, not your partner. Okay. So why am I sharing all of this? This is for the people who think like it will get better after marriage. You are carrying the same exact brain with you in marriage. This doesn't mean that you have to heal perfectly before marriage. Okay? Please, for the love of God, we need to get rid of that. But what I'm saying is, when you're choosing your partner, you don't want to choose things based off of, how do I say this? Like wounds or things that like will probably not last for you. Okay. So if you're saying I'm some, as an example, let's say I see myself as not good enough and I want people to see me as good enough. So I want to pick a partner that's extremely good looking or extremely young or extremely this or extremely like gives that wow factor so that I can feel good. And then once those two get married and they face each other, it is not a good time. That doesn't mean it will always be a good time if you pick the right one, right? So even if you pick the right partner, you will still feel like there's a lot of work to do. Okay. I even mentioned this to my client. Sometimes, like me and my husband, we just go at each other's necks, and it's all because of either my internal wounds or his internal wounds, and we just have to like figure it out, right? But that doesn't mean we're not right for each other. It just means we can't expect the other person to heal that for you. Okay, so that's just a quick video I just wanted to make. It was a really good post and it was worth sharing on YouTube and talking about it really quick. But yeah, so if this the point of this is just to kind of understand that marriage is a beautiful thing. It will bring out things in you that are that you didn't know needed healing to heal, and it's a great way to learn how to be interdependent with someone and also learn how to take responsibility for your own emotions. And this is what I'm inviting you to actually learn that for yourself also before marriage so that you have that skill during marriage, inshallah. Okay? And yeah. And also, if you need help with any of this stuff, I'm opening up my group coaching program on February 7th. So make sure you check that out and join, inshallah. This is where I guide you through every moment that you're going through in terms of your process in the marriage. I'll see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.